Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to take a look at my new water camp. I've always wanted to build a water camp and I've kind of looked at different areas and I ended up building other places. But I decided that I wanted to do another attempt. I saw a video that had a couple of ideas in it and I thought if I'm going to rebuild I might as well do it. So that's what I've done. I've built it up by the, let me show you where I'm at. The Thunder Mountain power plant in the lake. So let me show you what we have. So I'll just show you from the water's edge what it looks like. It's kind of has a kind of nice view when you're kind of looking at the entrance. So I've got a bunch of I've got two, well not two, but three of those utility lights. Let me see. That kind of shine sort of at the building itself, at the camp itself. As you can see, right in the middle of the water, to my right is the Thunder Mountain power plant. So initially I didn't have this sort of front ramp, but I kind of wanted to put it in there just in case. The dragon. Anyway, so let's head on towards the camp. And you'll notice I have a couple of foundations in the water. Unfortunately, you can't really put anything in the water. Nothing will actually go underwater that I found, with the exception of the foundations and the stairs. And I guess I'm lucky enough that actually occurred. And I wanted to make sure that the camp itself, the floorboards, were level with the water. And the reason is so it looks like it's very, it does that kind of transfer from the water onto the platform without it looking like it's floors or an edge. So I made it that it's like very open plan. So there's kind of four. So it's kind of sort of like a castle. The idea was I was originally going to build a castle type thing. So originally, so I made it in terms of like a castle type camp, where it has walkways at the top. It has the corner towers, if you will, just like a castle typically would have. But it kind of took a life of its own, as it usually does. The other thing I wanted to do, which I thought was very cool, is put the garage doors right around. And I'll show you the reason why. This guy keeps opening everything. I can actually shut down the camp completely. So I can actually close the camp from enemies. And as you can see, all the garage doors are shut and everything's protected inside like a fortress. So I thought it was kind of a neat idea. And it kind of gives you that sort of enclosed feel where everything's sort of closed and secure when the doors are all shut, and when this guy seems to like opening everything. So it gives you that secure feel when everything's closed, but when it's open, it gives you that very open feel, right? So as you can see, all the garage doors, they all connect to the same power source. And as I can open them all at the same time. And I did separate this door because I found, even though I'm in water, that I was getting attacked by ghouls and Scorch. I think Scorch, definitely ghouls. They would come and they would be attacking my foundations, so it didn't really do any damage to my camp. But then some of them actually made it up the stairs and started attacking me. So I thought, if I wanted, I could probably just close it off. Although they, I don't think they can jump, but if they're smart enough, they could jump on that platform. But the other thing I wanted to do was, if I did have everything closed, I didn't know whether when I spawned in, whether everything would be closed, and I wanted to be able to open or allow someone to open it from the outside. So let me go out. And while we're up here, I can show you. You've got these four sort of towers, so you've got 8 little rooms here that you potentially could put stuff in there, right? So you could make, you know, like a little gym room. I've turned 2 of these corner rooms into kind of just little sleeping quarters, but potentially you could have, you know, beds in all of them if you want, or a little lounge in one. You know, it's kind of lots of potential. I mean, a lot of room, and that's on top of, you know, if you didn't want, you know, you don't want. I forgot what I was going to say there. But anyway, I'm going to jump down here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to open up this thing. So if people did come here and they said, "Oh, it's closed," they could come here and they could just hit this button, and if it was closed from the inside, they could actually get inside and open it up and access the camp. Of course, you have the choice. You could put a door there or a button if you didn't want them to open it. But I like that. I like the whole open plan. This guy, like, he's just noticed I'm pushing buttons. Yeah, right. I'm sure you noticed that. There you go. He's enjoying the camp, I think. So let me show you this corner room. So these rooms, like I said, they're just 1 by 1 rooms, and you could turn them anything. I turned them to like a little bedroom area. But again, you could turn them into whatever, you know, like. But anyway, and then the middle piece here, I turned into kind of a living space, right? So I got all my crafting benches on the side. Got a nice view of the power plant from this little table here. I can have breakfast. And I can watch the scorch beasts flying around. A couple of cooking stations. Got my vending machine there. Got my Brahmin. So the only thing I can't do at the moment, but you can do obviously, is grow plants, right? Because there's a way you can't put anything on the ground. But if you do the Wastelanders DLC and you get the ones where you can build the plants inside a floor, then you could put plants. I kind of didn't mind that. That was kind of not a big deal. So I got this little area in the middle. As you can see, there's a boat here in the water. In order to create this camp, you have to put your camp on the boat, because your camp doesn't actually work underwater. So the only way you can actually build a camp like this, and you'll notice the back of the boat is facing that direction, or with the power plant on my left, and that's kind of the direction. So if you do build it and people get lost, you can look up at the boat and see which direction it is. But I've got a little sitting area with some stuff there. You hardly notice it. It's more like a sort of decoration or kind of display piece or piece in the center that people can look at. And then I have a little lounge on the flat side with the sitting area. So, you know, it's very open plan, very different than I would typically build a camp. If you've seen my other videos of my other camps, I do like it though. It did turn out really nicely, especially with those wooden floors. I was thinking of using the mosaic because I saw someone else use it, and it was just because mosaic and water kind of go together. But these floors are just beautiful floors in any camp, and they certainly do turn out to be quite nice. And give it a lot of character. So kind of a view from the front here. And you can actually put water purifiers under the water, as you noticed, so you don't actually lose out on the ability to generate purified water for those that like to do that and sell it and drink it. So I did actually manage to put 4 in here, so you can put quite a bit more. When you do actually put the camp item on the boat, the area, the circle, actually looks really small, and that's because, you know, it's kind of, when you look at it, it's actually looking from the top down, and I think the bigger circle, I guess, is under the water. So you notice that how big the camp actually is. I mean, you can actually go really wide. So you just have to try and get it in, kind of center it, if you will, or just. I did notice the one person put like a boat launch or a dock to the boat, so he had the boat right at the front of his camp, and it looked like, you know, you're getting off the boat into his camp. So you could do that as well. But obviously, when you put the camp item, the camp machine, you know, it doesn't. It will use space around the boat, so you'd probably lose space like that, right? Then I have my Protecton guy right at the top here. Again, you could put him in one of the rooms if you want. I did actually originally put him in the room. For whatever reason, even though my floors aren't underwater, the Protecton was the only camp item that thought I was still underwater, so it wouldn't actually let me put it on the bottom floor. So even though I'm quite a bit above the water, you'll notice there's quite a bit of a ledge. It still thinks for some reason that I'm underwater, but everything else built no problem. As you can see, it's really beautiful the way it turned out. You know, with the lighting effects, the open plan, the views of the power plant, and the whole lake, and everything turned out to be just gorgeous. So I'm very happy how this build actually turned out. And I've seen people create pirate boats and you know, other things. You know, so there's a lot of ideas you can do. You can build like tall houses, and you know, you can see it, just the vastness of the amount of area you can actually build, and the amount of stuff I actually built. Surprisingly, I'm fairly close to max budget, but I mean, considering you know, a lot of floors there. I didn't use a lot of roofs. I did use quite a few of those walls, which you generally use quite a bit of budget. Lots of garage doors, but yeah, not bad though, right? I mean, considering, you know, I got all the workbenches, 4 large purifiers, you know, so quite a bit, but. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. I think it turned out really nicely. Nice sort of area. I am surprised that girls in that still walk underwater and come up in my camp. I wasn't expecting that. I thought, you know, I'd be kind of fairly well protected, being a water base camp. They wouldn't be able to make it. I did notice they were getting stuck. They were trying to eat or destroy the back of the steps, the back of the foundations, which was just great because, you know, you could hear them kind of ticking away at it, but they weren't obviously doing any damage like they normally do. But some of them definitely didn't make it up. So I think I got attacked by Scorch and ghouls are the ones. And then, of course, Scorch Beast will show up now and then. They are Scorch Beast at the camp, at the power plant. And as soon as they know you at the power plant, they realize you at your camp, they'll fly over and start bombing it. But I only had one so far do that, so it doesn't seem to be a regular occurrence of that actually happening. So it's not one that it doesn't seem to be. Anyway, I don't want to say it doesn't, because I've definitely seen 3 Scorch Beasts at that power plant at one time. So I guess if you had 3 attacking the power plant because the workshop is active, then potentially you could have 3 Scorch Beasts flying over your camp, destroying it, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, and let me know what you think. I did make another video earlier this evening of my nether build in Flatwoods. take a look at that video. Another camp that had a life of its own. Kind of turned out better than I expected. As a lot of these camps, you kind of build and you have one idea and then it turns into something completely different because of the terrain, and you know, it was an upslope and you have to kind of start building around stuff, but I had a big tree in the middle, so, and that just changes things a little bit. But yeah, check that video out. It's another cool camp, I think. I like how they turned out as well. But yeah, this is definitely a favorite of mine, and I'm happy the way it actually turned out. And so far, I think the people that showed up my camp have liked it as well. Anyway, let me know. Thank you.